I want to talk to you about how to make money with a drone this year. And the thing is that when it comes to drones, of course, you have a lot of stuff that you can do with a drone. But I want to really explain to you how to monetize this device, especially when it comes to all kinds of marketing opportunities. Okay, so here are the facts I want you to pay attention to. The thing is that drones are actually useful in a variety of industries, and you can earn income providing, let's say, aerial footage for real estate, for example, surveying, filmmaking, and more, right? So you have a lot of possibilities here. Now, in 2006, like 20 years ago, the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration began actually issuing permits for commercial drone use. I mean, before then, it was only for military, military sort of assignments. Okay, so since 2006, what happened here is that entrepreneurs and business owners have used drones to earn money by capturing stunning aerial footage and photographs, or to get, let's say, an overhead view of a construction project or plot of land. Okay. Bottom line here is that you have a lot of ways to make money to actually monetize your drone this year. And one thing I want to say here is that when you think about making money with a drone, you got to think about the operating requirements. First, you need to figure out which rules and regulations apply to you and your business. Because drones weighing less than 0.55 pounds, in other words, 250 grams, do not require licensing or registration, while those weighing more than 0.55 pounds are subject to all the regulations in Part 107. So, if your drone weighs more than 55 pounds, you will need to contact the FAA directly on its website or by calling 844-359-6982 and register the device as a standard aircraft. Very important. So, if you are unsure what regulations apply to you as a drone pilot, you can use the FAA's user identification tool to learn more. Okay, very important. One thing I want to say here is that always fly your drone within eyesight. Always. And avoid other aircraft. You want to fly responsibly. Never operate your drone from a moving vehicle. This includes cars, planes, and other types of moving vehicles you could actually release or operate a drone from. And only one drone per operator, okay? Per Part 107 regulations, drone operators and visual observers can only operate one drone at a time. So it's very important to understand that if you want to make money from a drone, you have to abide by a slew of regulations, because drone flying borders a little bit with military activities. So this is a highly regulated industry. One thing I want you to really remember also is that I want you to think about the remote pilot certificate. So to become a commercial drone pilot, you'll need to earn your remote pilot certificate. Now you want to start by obtaining an FAA tracking number with an integrated airman certification and rating application, acre. And so the thing is that, so you go to the FAA website, okay? You want to schedule an appointment with an FAA approved knowledge testing center and make sure to have your FAA tracking number at the ready. Very important. So to actually take the Part 107, the knowledge test, you must be at least 16 years old and have a government issued identification card. And the test consists of a 60 multiple choice question and typically takes about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to complete. And the FAA actually offers the study materials for the test, including the Airman certification standards for, let's say, for remote pilots, a study guide, and some simple questions. So to pass, you must correctly answer at least 70% of the question. Okay. So what happens here is that once you pass the test, as well as the Transportation Security Administration security background check, you will need to receive a temporary certificate by email within 45 to 60 days, and a full certificate within a few months. And your certificate remains active for 24 months, 2 years, at which time you'll need to take recurring training courses. So you have to renew the certificate. Okay. You also have drone registration. So any drone weighing more than 0.55 pounds you plan to operate for your business needs to be registered with the FAA. You can create an account and register your drone on the FAA website at FAA Drone Zone. Registration costs $5. So once you receive your registration number, make sure to write it out clearly on your drone, either engraved on a permanent light label or written with a permanent marker. So you want to keep your registration with you anytime you operate your drone commercially or recreationally. So this is very important to understand that, again, like I said, you have a slew of regulations here, okay? And you also need to set up remote identification for any drones operating under a Part 107. Remote ID helps the FAA locate drone operators flying in a dangerous manner or in unauthorized airspaces, such as, let's say, airports, stadiums, and national wildlife, let's say, refuges, okay? If you don't have remote ID for your drone, you may be able to find FAA recognized identification areas, the FRIAs, geographic areas designed for flying drones without a remote ID. So if you want to find a FRIA near you, explore the FAA map of FRIAs across the state. So that's really important. I want to talk to you now about monetization, right? Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. How do you make money with the drone this year? So the first thing is that you have, I want to introduce you to the fact that you have stock photos and videos, but also weddings. I mean, this is really, really big. Let's talk first about the stock photos and videos. So you can license your drone photography and aerial footage to stock websites like Shutterstock, Getty Images, Flickr, or even Adobe Stock, and they pay good cash. Okay, especially the harder your picture was to get, or the more differentiated your picture is, the more expensive it will be. And clients from various industries search websites such as Shutterstock, Getty Images, Flickr, or Adobe Stock for stock photography and videography to use in presentations, websites, social media platforms, and marketing materials like brochures, business cards, catalogs, and even digital advertisements. So this is kind of important to. So the reason why I'm telling this is because I want to really elevate the quality of the footage, the quality of the content you actually you want to post on those websites. So a professional drone pilot with a flair for photography can upload aerial photos and videos of landscapes and cityscapes and earn money every time someone licenses that material on a stock website. So that's for stock photos and videos. You also have weddings. So another way you can make money flying drones is by offering drone photography services to clients who want aerial photos and videos of their weddings. And as the wedding services markets actually continues to grow, basically you're going to realize that you can actually make somewhere from $3,000 to $10,000. Okay, so a drone photographer can actually team up with regular wedding photographers to capture special footage of the event. So that's really fantastic. Another way you can actually make money with a drone this year is actually by engaging a lot into real estate activities. And the real estate market is pretty huge, that's for sure. So drone pilots with high resolution cameras can also offer their photography and videography services to real estate agents and companies that need attractive aerial images of their real estate properties. Okay, and it's all about, when you think about real estate, like photography, it's all about the geography, the location of the property, the niche that the real estate agency is going after. So the more expensive the property, the better it is for you as a drone pilot. But also, most importantly, the trends in the industry. So the trends in that particular real estate area. Okay, very important. So good real estate photography helps agent attract potential clients for the property listings. And the cool thing is that high quality aerial photography can add an extra layer of glamour, if you will. An extra touch. Okay, you want to contact local real estate agents to pitch your drone services, and if you do the right job, you will be getting business like crazy. This is really important to think about that way. Another way to actually make money this year with a drone is through filmmaking. So skilled drone pilots can fly drones for film and television productions. They will pay money for high quality drone footage based on the needs of their shoot. So everything depends on the particular production. It depends on the needs of the production. It depends on the kind of area where they're at. It depends on the target audience of the show or the production also, because everything is driven by what the target audience really would appreciate, right? So that's important to think about it that way. And one thing I want to say here is that you have to really understand that everything actually is kind of cool because now, although this option of filmmaking can become a more lucrative business in locations with more productions like LA, New York, Toronto, or London, you don't always know what projects are on the way in your area because you really have to really contact maybe the Chamber of Commerce of your area to see what really works too. Okay, so you want to network with other filmmakers and start with smaller projects like branded content, advertisement for local businesses, or even music videos. I mean, it's all about expanding the kind of possibilities you have. If you want to make money with a drone this year, I want you to really partner with search and rescue operations. I mean, a lot happens when it comes to search and rescue, and the government, or let's say local authorities or federal authorities, will pay a lot of cash for drone pilots to actually help in search and rescue operations. So what happens here is that some federal, state, and local agencies, as well as volunteer organizations that perform search and rescue missions, now use drones in their operations, especially if you are speaking about geographies that are kind of hard to reach. Let's say by foot or by like through a regular trip. So you gotta really, if you're gonna have an aerial view of the area, then yeah, okay. So a skilled drone pilot could actually offer his or her services to get an aerial view over a wilderness area or wilderness areas, river rapids, for instance, open water, and in dangerous situations like fires or floods. Okay, and this type of service may require a drone equipped with special technology like thermal imaging to make it easier to identify people in trouble. So this is really important to really think about the possibilities there. Also, you can think about mapping and surveying. So drone pilots can also offer specialized services for companies that need help gathering important data for mapping and surveying. For example, companies can hire drone operators to assist with business planning, land development, topographical maps, and also agricultural inspections. So that's kind of cool from let's say from a scalability point of view. And companies using drone operators can gain critical data over large areas much faster than traditional surveying methods and save on the cost of hiring an airplane or helicopter. So this is one of those things where companies are really looking for ways to save cash now. And if you can actually provide a cost-effective solution that's way better and way cheaper than the alternative of hiring a chopper for the job, then you get the job. If you want to make money with a drone this year, I want you to think about drone education. And drone education is pretty specialized, but it really works big time. And you have to really understand that drones are an emerging trend nowadays because you can use drones in a lot of things, either commercially or privately. Okay, so if you are a skilled drone pilot, you may want to consider starting a business tutoring clients or selling online courses on how to use drones for commercial photography and videography. It's all about actually expanding the context here. Okay, so you could even launch your own YouTube channel teaching drone flying skills and best practices for taking aerial photographs. So drone education is a great way to earn money while also meeting potential customers for other drone services you provide. Like I said a little earlier, like wedding photography or surveying. Okay. Another way to actually make money this year with a drone is actually through building inspection. So this is kind of related to real estate, but it's a little different because this is more construction. This is more real estate development. Before it was more like a real estate on the selling side of things, on the commercial side of things. And this part is actually real estate on the foundational part of things. Okay, so when I talk about ways you can make money with a drone, you can actually offer your drone services to companies that need help inspecting construction projects. For example, drone pilots can help roofing companies save time and avoid the risk of a person physically climbing onto a roof to check for damage or deterioration. Okay, it's one of those things where you have a situation where it's just a lot better to send a machine, to send a device, to send an automated sort of aircraft, to say automated aircraft to actually to check things as opposed to sending a human. Okay, because when you send a human, you always have the risk. You always have the higher insurance costs. You always have all kinds of possibilities. All kinds of regulatory compliance steps that you need to take. But if you send a machine, things are relatively easier. So here are the extras here, but before I close to this conversation, so when you think about how to make money with a drone, there are a few extras you need to think about. First of all, a drone business can be profitable, especially if you are a skilled drone pilot with connections to paying clients in industries like real estate, weddings, advertising, construction, or land surveying, right? It's not about just you having the skills. It's not just about you actually knowing how to pilot a drone. It's also having the connections. You have to cultivate those connections because the skills are great. The skills are fantastic. But if you have no demand to actually meet those skills, they're not actually they're not profitable to you. Okay. And so you actually have several side hustles you can do with the drone, including licensing aerial photos and videos to stock image websites or offering drone photography services to businesses. The question is, do you want to do this on the side, like as a part-time job or a side gig, or you want to do this on a full-time? Because there is a difference if you want to really do this on a full-time and you want to really focus on building a portfolio, then you have to go at it like differently. And so one thing for sure, you actually there are cases where you might need insurance for a drone business. Okay, although the Federal Aviation Administration does not require drone pilot to have insurance, it's always a good idea to purchase insurance to cover all kinds of stuff. I mean, you never know. You just never know. Well, once you have stuff flying over people's property, flying over, like anything can happen. Okay, so you want to cover any loss, damage, or injury that could occur from your drone flights. And the thing is that if you were to have let's say a loss, damage, or injury, this could really sort of eat into your profits. But if you have insurance, at least you are covering your losses, you're covering yourself, you're covering your butt. And this is kind of important because from a scalability point of view, at least you have a clear idea of what to happen if you were to if you were to have any problem down the road. And believe me, you are going to have problem. Okay, this life is complicated, so you are going to have problem. Anytime you start flying stuff over people's property, once again, you will have problems. You might have problems. So here's an epilogue I want you to pay attention to. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about how to make money with a drone. I give you the facts, the monetization, the extras, and the epilogue. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.